Last night was a game of firsts.
Cliff Lee was the first Phillies pitcher since Robin Roberts to throw 3 consecutive shutouts.
He also was the first Phillies pitcher with 30-plus consecutive scoreless innings since my 33 innings in 1984.
Cliff also added his first career sacrifice fly, knocking in our 3rd run of the night.
The Phillies were the first team to score 5 runs off of Josh Beckett this season.
It is reason to celebrate, Fanatic. Last night's win made the Phils the first team to 50 wins in 2011.
And last night we made the Phillies the first team to reach 2 million in attendance this season.
That's right, honey. And to think it was only the first game of the series. How do you follow up what Cliff Lee did last night to the Boston Red Sox? Well, we'll find out. It's up to Vance Worley to try to duplicate what the Phillies left-hander did to the Sox in Game 1 as we get set for Game 2 of an interleague matchup between the Phillies and the Boston Red Sox. The Phillies, the first major league team to 50 victories this year. They did it in 80 games. It's the fastest since 1993 when they reached 50 wins in just 71 ball games. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Chris Wheeler. We'll talk to Sarge in just a little while. Well, it's very difficult not to think back to last night and what Cliff Lee did. In fact, Wheels, it's very difficult not to think back to this entire month of June and what he put together.
He's tremendous, Tom. He is the pitcher of the month in the National League for the month of June. The voting not out yet, of course, because the month's not over, but he will win that easily. Last night, surgical. Cliff Lee in total command of this game. Typical of Lee, he's going to give a lot of credit to his defense, but there were a lot of easy outs in this game. Sure, Ryan Howard had 2 line drives at first base, but there were a lot of ground balls. There were easy plays for the infielders. One tremendous play here by Jimmy Rollins. He has to get out of the way of the base runner, throw the hitter out at first base, saved a run right there. Then the curveball from Cliff Lee. He started to use that late in the game. Fittingly enough, he gets the final out on Dustin Pedroia on a curveball there that he hit to Placido Polanco, and Cliff Lee pretty happy about that. This guy has been on some kind of an amazing run. 3 straight shutouts here in the month of June. 2 6 and 2 hits. Not that many walks. Really hasn't had that many strikeouts. And he's been able to keep his pitch count under control except for really one game. The great Robin Evan Roberts, the last guy to do this for the Phillies. 3 consecutive shutouts back in the Magic Whiz Kids year of 1950. Robbie had 8 walks and 8 strikeouts in those 3 shutouts. And a complete game shutout, a complete game for Robin Roberts. Well, that was the norm.
Well, as we talked about, though, the follow-up is Vance Worley, who will take the baseball tonight, and his first opportunity against the Boston Red Sox, and this is a much different Red Sox lineup that they're putting out there tonight.
Yeah, a lot of left-handed hitters. Poppy Ortiz is going to be out there tonight. But Vance Worley's been good since he went back to the minor leagues, straightened a few things out, knows he's in the rotation. He's got himself trained right now to start games, and he did a good job in this game against Oakland. The only thing was he would get ahead of hitters, and then all of a sudden it'd be 2-2 and 3-2, and as a result his pitch count got a little bit high. But he threw a lot of ground balls. Great play here by Ryan Howard with him covering first base. He kept them in the ball game. The Phillies would eventually win that game by a score of 1-0. So they feel confident with Vance Worley out there right now.
Yeah, that play by Ryan Howard, by the way, if that ball had gotten past Ryan, a run would have scored, and maybe the outcome of the game would have been a whole lot different. So it is Game 2 of this 3-game series between the Phillies and the Boston Red Sox. John Lackey's really struggled. He's making his 12th start of the year. His earned run average is the highest in Major League Baseball for a guy with more than 50 innings on the mound this season. We'll see what the Phillies offense can do against him. We'll see what Dominic Brown can do tonight. A day after a 2-hit home run night last evening, he's back in the lineup. The lineup's at first pitch when we return. To what he did last night and really what he's done over the entire month of June. His 0.21 earned run average is tied for the 6th lowest in a month since ERAs were tabulated, or since they started tabulating ERAs back in 1912. That's pretty impressive. He finished 5-0 with a 0.21 earned run average. It's a Phillies record for any month. And again, as we saw, he was almost unhittable during the course of June. You see the numbers. Corey Lytle back in August of 2002 had a 0.20 earned run average. Oral Hershiser, well, in '88, can't get much better than that right there, as he was going through his scoreless streak that reached 59 innings. So a very impressive run for Cliff Lee as he won his 9th game in last night's opener to this 3-game series. Let's take a look at the standings for the National League East. The Phillies begin play tonight because the Braves have already won against Seattle. They swept out the Mariners. They begin play tonight, 4 games up for the division, 9.5 over the Mets and 10 over the Washington Nationals, and there are the Florida Marlins at 15.5. Meanwhile, the American League East, the Yankees, well, they won last night, so their lead over the Red Sox is at a 1.5. The Yankees are hosting the Milwaukee Brewers once again. Zach Greinke is pitching in that ball game against A.J. Burnett for the New York Yankees. Let's take a look at the Red Sox, starting lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at center field, Jacoby Ellsbury. Dustin Pedroia, the second baseman, bats second. Adrian Gonzalez hits third. He's in right field tonight. Kevin Youkilis bats cleanup. David Ortiz makes the start at first base. It's his first start in the field here in 2011. He'll bat fifth. Jared Saltalamacchia does the catching. He'll bat sixth. And the bottom third of Josh Reddick, Marco Scutaro, and John Lackey. And they'll face Phillies right-hander Vance Worley. The 23-year-old is making his 7th start and his 9th appearance this year, Wills. And, hey, not too shabby when you take a look at those overall numbers.
Yeah, Tom, in his last 2 starts, since he's come back from pitching in Lehigh Valley, where he got himself straightened out. He's been good against Seattle. He was good against Oakland here the other night. And, you know, they feel he'll go out there tonight and keep them in the ballgame. At least they certainly hope so. And one thing about Worley is he goes out and he throws strikes. Southwest Airlines scouting report on him, as Tom mentioned, his 7th start this season. That's his repertoire of pitches. And last time out, he got ahead of a lot of batters, but then he seemed to fall behind. And you can't do that against Boston, because they'll come out, they'll foul off a lot of pitches, run up his pitch count, and you'll be into that bullpen faster than you want to. And that's what the Red Sox try to make you do. Nissan keys to tonight's game. Boy, it'd be hard to find a better night. Just gorgeous down here. Wind blowing out pretty hard to right center field. Well, this could be the night to score some runs, because John Lackey's been struggling a little bit, and you know they probably figure they could get something off Vance Worley. And yep, Big Papi is in the lineup tonight in the National League Park at first base, and that shoves Adrian Gonzalez to right field for the 2nd time in his major league career.
Well, here's Jacoby Ellsbury to lead it off, for the first pitch of the game is in there for a strike, so we're underway. Ellsbury was 0 for 4 in last night's ball game. He grounded out twice. His numbers very good this year against right-handed pitching, and overall hitting .299. On the hands, a slow roller to second base. Chase Utley is there, 1 away. Ellsbury now 2 for his last 21. So just like last night, Ellsbury saw 2 pitches in his first at bat, and he was retired last night. And he's retired here by Vance Worley. And
he's a guy with 25 stolen bases, too, so a table setter for the Boston Red Sox. He and Pedroia can both run. You don't think about this team as a stolen base team, but they are, especially at the top of the order.
Well, here's Dustin Pedroia, and he takes low. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
And when Carl Crawford is back and healthy, he can really steal bases. So they actually have 3 guys that can run in their lineup. Normally you think about them, there's Crawford as a team that just stands around and tries to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Pedroia last night was 0 for 3. In fact, the top 4 hitters in the lineup for the Red Sox were 0 for 12 combined with 2 walks.
That's a good way to win a game.
Cliff Lee only allowed 2 hits last night. 1 ball, 1 strike the count to Pedroia. In the air, foul off to the right, now to play into the sunshine.
You saw the shot of Carlos Ruiz there right in front of Cliff Lee. He gets the night off tonight with a day game tomorrow, and Cole Hamels on the mound.
See Pedroia's numbers overall in his career during interleague play, .361. Josh Hamilton of the Rangers As long as those interleague games are at night, well, his numbers are just fine. Pedroia, he dives into the pitch.
Oh, yeah.
That one wasn't really as close as he made it seem.
Yeah, but you hit it right on the head. He's a diver. You know, he's looking to hit the ball the other way. So he's diving out there looking for a pitch away, and all of a sudden he gets a bow tie. And he just got out of the way.
So 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Pedroia. On the outside corner, called strike 3. That's a pretty good pitching right there by Vance Worley. 2 outs.
Yeah, he did tip your cap right there. You saw Pedroia walk away. You know, a guy goes up and under his chin, and then he goes with a fastball in the black away. That's like a veteran pitcher being able to do something like that. Great job by Worley.
During the 2011 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. Phillies have won 50 games already, so with the wins alone, they're donating some cash. Here's Adrian Gonzalez, the American League's leading hitter at .357.
Boy, Worley's doing just like he did against Oakland the other night. He's coming out and throwing early strikes to these hitters.
Gonzalez, 16 home runs, 71 runs batted in. And he takes it side low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Gonzalez started in right field back in 2005 when he was a member of the Texas Rangers. Probably sitting there saying, well, how the heck did the Rangers ever let this guy go? Well, the Rangers, the Marlins, the Padres, they all let him go.
#1 pick in the whole country at one time. But he blossomed with San Diego, no doubt about it, and became just a great hitter and parlayed that into a heck of a contract.
And he's been productive, as you see, for the Red Sox. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Line drive, foul.
He uses the whole field. You look at the outfield defense, so I'm slightly towards left center, but for the most part, pinch the alleys with Gonzalez because he's a doubles guy. He can hit homers too. But you see the way they are. They're going to give him the lines, try to take the gaps away.
Cliff Lee did a great job with him last night, pitching him away just about the entire night. They're going away, and it's up and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and you have to establish inside to him, though, if you're going to pitch him away. Because if you don't, he can hit the ball to left and left center with power with anybody in the game. Look at all the hits he has to left field. He's probably peppering that monster up in Boston. Boy, that wind is really strong here tonight. It's beautiful night. Very little humidity, if any. Well, there's certainly humidity, but it's real low, and you see it's blowing out to right and right center. So these left-handed hitters are going to get some help.
Going to hang on to your hat tonight. Another foul ball, and it remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Worley in his last outing did not allow a hit until the 6th inning. In fact, he, along with the Oakland starter Guillermo Moscoso, both had no hitters into the 6th. Pretty good pitch, a slow grounder up toward first, and Ryan Howard will trot over to the bag, and the side is retired. So Worley wins the battle. He retires the Red Sox in order. We go to the bottom of the 1st. It's Boston 0. The Phillies coming up. Beautiful yard. Let's take a look at the Phillies lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Jimmy Rollins leads it off at shortstop. Placido Polanco, the third baseman, bats second. Chase Utley hits third, followed by Ryan Howard and Shane Victorino. Raul Ibanez, who has good numbers against John Lackey, he's in left field batting sixth. Dominic Brown hits seventh. Brian Schneider does the catching tonight. He'll bat eighth, and batting ninth at pitching, of course, is Worley. And they'll face 32-year-old Texan John Lackey. In 11 starts this year, 5 and 6. But look at that earned run average, 7.36.
Big guy, 6'6", 245-pounder, second-round pick of the Angels. Premier pitcher in the American League for a lot of years. Southwest Airlines scouting report on him. Well, we'll see if he can top 94. They say he's struggling with that. He has the full repertoire of pitches. This is a guy who's always been one of those grinders and competitors, but evidently he's just a little short stuff-wise right now.
Well, his earned run average of 7.36 as David Ortiz takes his position over at first base is the highest in Major League Baseball for pitchers with 50 innings or more. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. That right side is looking rather odd for the Red Sox with Ortiz at first and Gonzalez in right field. And Rollins behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, they don't want a whole lot of balls hit over there if they can avoid it. There's, you know, Gonzalez is out there saying, oh man, just let me get through this. He volunteered to do it and to get that guy's bat in the lineup.
On the hands, a pop up toward third. Youkilis into foul territory, makes the play. There's one away. The last time Adrian Gonzalez played right field was in 2005. He played 8 innings for the Rangers with Gary Matthews Jr. in center field. He had an error in 4 chances and 3 putouts overall. Terry Francona's quote about Gonzalez playing right: "This won't be a train wreck, or we wouldn't have done it." Talking to Gonzo, he's got me convinced that he's going to be okay, or I would not have done this. They thought about it for a couple of days, but because they're playing 9 straight in National League cities, if they don't do this at some point, then Ortiz isn't going to start any of the ball games with Gonzalez in that lineup. And there's a ground ball off the glove of Pedroia. And Polanco's aboard with a 1-out single.
Yeah, last year early in the season it wouldn't have been as big a deal because Ortiz was struggling, but this year he is swinging the bat great, and they do not want his bat out of the lineup.
Well, speaking of Pedroia, here's his quote: "It will be good for us offensively, but damn, I'm going to have to play second, first, and right. I've got small legs. That's a lot of ground to cover."
Yeah, and he didn't quite cover enough ground on that ground ball there. He's a fun player. He and Francona have a tremendous rapport. They needle each other down there, and they are funny to listen to. And Tito just loves Pedroia.
Well, with 1 away and Polanco at first, here's Utley. And Utley takes a strike. The infield is playing Utley to pull, with Pedroia covering the hole on the right side. And the shortstop Scudero shaded toward the middle. Chase was 1 for 3 last night with a sacrifice. One ball, 1 strike to count.
He's throwing fastball. He's throwing a couple changeups. That was a changeup. He's throwing a cutter. Now that's what Lackey is going to do. There was a time when he had a really heavy sinker when he's back with that Angels team that went to the World Series and against the San Francisco Giants.
That's hit hard, just foul. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Ricky Herb of Barnegat, New Jersey. If the Phillies hit a home run in today's ballgame, the Ricky will win $100.
Phillies with a lot of left-handed hitters in this lineup, so you know you look for the ball to go to that part of the field tonight where those 2 guys are.
There's Ryan Howard waiting on deck. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Chase Utley.
Gonzalez is really deep and right.
There's Adrian Gonzalez playing a very deep and conservative right field.
Yeah, the reason we mention that is if Utley can hit a ball out into that area, you can get a first and third out of this.
Little looper toward left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Polanco stops at second, and the Phillies have first and second with one away here in the first.
Good job by Chase. Got fooled a little bit on a changeup. I was able to dunk that baby out there. And David Ortiz visits with Utley. Here it is. He just out front a little bit, but those hands are so quick, it is, that he's able to just flick the bat at it. And even though he doesn't hit it hard, he found some open spaces.
So 2 on with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Here's Howard, third in the National League in RBIs with 62. 1 for 3 last night. And way inside with the first pitch. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
8 home runs off Lackey this year, only 1 by a left-handed hitter.
Well, Howard does have him in his book. One the count. There are some real bizarre numbers for Lackey so far this season, all part of his struggles. Runners in scoring position are hitting .324 against him with 39 RBIs. The first time through a lineup, the opposition's hitting just .231, but after that they're hitting .325 against him. Well, the Phillies are trying to change that and increase that number the first time through.
Well, he's running the cutter and the fastball in on these left-handed hitters early in the game, and then he's trying to throw some change-ups away to get them out. There you go. Earned run average in his last 11 starts. Look at those middle 3 and last 3. Wow.
Back toward the middle. That should be 2. Scudero had him played perfectly, and the side is retired. So the Phillies get a couple aboard. They leave 1 after the 6-3 double play to finish up the first. So we've completed 1. We go to the second. It's the Phillies nothing and the Red Sox nothing. At Phillies.com tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. But up until then, you can vote up to 25 times for your favorite Philly. Help send more than Placido Polanco to this year's All-Star game. Make one of the other Phils a starter along with Polanco. It looks like Polanco is controlling third base at this point. But again, you can vote up to 25 times at Phillies.com until tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. Top of the second, scoreless game. Kevin Youkilis, David Ortiz, Jared Saltalamacchia to lead it off against Vance Worley. With the shutout last night, the Red Sox have fallen behind the Yankees in runs scored in Major League Baseball. They're second. They've scored 409 runs. but only 14 in their last 6 games. On the outside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike to Youkilis. Well, he's got good downward action on his pitches so far in these first couple of innings. Youkilis thought that was low, but Ron Kulpa, the home plate umpire, liked the location.
We're throwing a lot of fastballs in this game. He's throwing changeup, a little breaking ball once in a while, but for the most part, he's come out, try to establish his fastball, and then go work off that. And that's a really good way to pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. A little low with that 90-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 2-2. David Ortiz waits on deck. Over to third. Big hop to Polanco. 1 away. Couple of ground outs, actually 3 ground outs for Worley so far in the first couple of innings. Time now for the Mazda home run leaders. As David Ortiz digs in, talk about home run leaders, we talk about the Red Sox career leaders, and Ortiz with 308. He trails Dwight Evans, who's in 4th place, Jim Rice, Carl Yastrzemski, and Ted Williams. Those are some really impressive names.
Where are they ever? You got some Hall of Famers in that group.
Ortiz has 321 home runs as a designated hitter in his major league career. It's the most in the history of baseball for designated hitters.
And Ortiz came over to the Boston Red Sox from the Minnesota organization at a time when anybody could have had him, and did his career take off for the Red Sox.
No balls, 1 strike the count. Make it 0-2.
Not only became one of the most feared clutch hitters in the game of baseball, but also one of the most popular because of his outgoing personality. He's everybody's best friend.
He's now 35 years old, and he's been a big part of what Terry Francona's been able to do in Boston. On the outside corner, called strike 3. Tell you what, Vance Worley is dealing right now. That was a cutter, and it looked like it fooled David Ortiz. 2 outs here in the second.
Yeah, he backdoored him with that pitch and just froze him. Right on the outside part of the plate. Now the pitch starts away, and here it comes back. Tom said a cut fastball, and Ortiz gave up on it.
So 2 outs. Here's Saltalamacchia, another switch hitting catcher. Originally the property of the Atlanta Braves. Traded to the Texas Rangers in the Mark Teixeira deal.
And he made his major league debut against the Phillies in a game in Atlanta. And I remember he hit 1 ball really hard, like a home run or something to center, a double.
Well, he was one of the big pieces in that trade at the time for Mark Teixeira. Now it hasn't turned out that way because some of the other pieces have evolved, including their shortstop.
Yeah, Elvis Andrus was in that deal, and so was Neftali Perez.
Yep.
And obviously they are huge parts of what the Rangers have been able to do the last few years.
Rangers kind of cast him off, and that's how the Red Sox picked him up. So 1-2 the count to Saltalamacchia. Got him. Swung on and missed. Second straight strikeout for Worley. He has 3 so far in the ball game, and he retires the Red Sox in order here in the second. 6 up, 6 down for Vance Worley. Here's number 6 as we go to the bottom of the second. Download CSN Phillies Sports app for your iPhone now. Victorino leads it off here in the second. And he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Shane 1 for 3 last night with a 2-run home run. It'll be Victorino, Ibanez, and Dominic Brown. How about that? He squirted it right inside the third base bag. He's going to get 2 out of it as it dives right off the cement wall down there. Josh Reddick will play it in. It's a leadoff double, the 12th of the year for Victorino.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff maybe that's happening to Lackey too. They hit him hard, and then a guy like Shane Victorino just drops a head on it and shoots it right inside the bag for a leadoff double. Let's see if they can get him over and get him in. That was a great replay of Lackey's reaction. Like, oh, that's not what he said. But
well, Victorino's safe at second, safe and secure with New York Life. So let's see what Ibanez could do here. He has very good numbers against Lackey, and he lines one toward left center field. It's in for a base hit. Here comes Victorino, and the Phillies take a 1-0 lead.
Good hitting, good base running too, and a nice quick lead for the Phillies there. Victorino knew exactly where the center fielder Ellsbury was when that ball was hit. No chance, of course, for an infielder to catch it, so score on it. Here it is. Lines it in the left center field. Ellsbury was playing him a little bit to pull in right center. So Victorino basically walks home with that. And see right there, he just took one quick look because and Juan Samuel is encouraging him to score there.
Yeah, we've got Sammy mic'd tonight, so we'll hear from Sammy throughout the evening.
Vamonos.
He's a good guy to have mic'd.
Oh, yeah.
There's Dominic Brown. Dominic was 2 for 3 last night, a 2-run home run and a double. I'll tell you what, his quotes after the game were very telling. I thought rather impressive too, talking about how he learned a lesson the other night when he didn't run out a hard hit ball to second, and how he talked to Charlie and how some of his teammates got on him. We talked about that during the game. It looked like Chase Utley had said something to him during the course of the game.
All good.
Yep.
That's a good pitch to take. Unfortunately, it's the second strike. There's Beckett, who hit the home run off Josh last night, because Gonzalez is really deep in right field. He's going to play everybody pretty deep, and you can get some first and thirds here tonight if you can pull the ball. These left-handed hitters can pull the ball with a man on first.
Inside and low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Mets, or the Tigers are probably sitting there thinking, where did this team come from? Mets take a 4-0 lead over Detroit in the second.
Reyes is having some year.
Mets hit 2 grand slams last night to win that game over Detroit, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Phillies already with 4 hits against John Lackey.
Well, he's trying to stay away from him so he can't pull. And he missed with fastball. Now he just missed with a 2-2 changeup. Well, you talk about putting yourself in a bad spot. 2-2 changeup to go to 3-2. And see if Dominic can make you pay for it.
There goes Ibanez, and the pitch hit foul.
How about Charlie starting him there? You know, that's more faith in Dominic Brown there, that he's not going to swing and miss, because Ibanez just doesn't run all that well. It's certainly not his fault. And if you swing and miss, the odds are it's a double play. Although he did throw him a slow breaking ball, 3-2.
I wondered how Dominic would come out in tonight's ball game off last night, just to see if there's an increase in even confidence, individual confidence, after what he did last night. There goes Ibanez again. Pitch is a call. Strike 3. The throw to second, not in time. Ibanez gets his second stolen base of the year. Brown thought that was low, let it go by, and the Phillies have another runner in scoring position.
It's the one thing, you know, you're going to try and learn how he can handle that. Now they got away with it because Raul winds up at second. That pitch is right on the knees, and it is a strike.
Here's Brian Schneider. Didn't play last night. Second game behind the plate since coming back off the DL. Youkilis into foul territory, has room. 2 outs. Well, Friday, July 22nd at 7:05 is the beginning of a 4-game series between the Phillies and the San Diego Padres. Now, we've been telling you that Sunday game is to be determined. Well, it has been determined. It'll be 1:35 first pitch. And fans 14 and under will receive a Pico Chase Utley Fathead Jr. That's a pretty good series. Not only is it 1980s retro night that first night, but then also that Pico Chase Utley Fathead Jr. Go to Phillies.com for tickets and for more information. Worley's retired on a ground ball to third, and the inning comes to a close. The Phillies take the early lead, a run on 2 hits. They leave one in scoring position. We go to the third. Phillies 1, Red Sox nothing. For all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. Wales, the question is, what Phillies pitcher won the first game of Terry Francona's managerial career? The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning.
Bet he knows.
Oh, there's no doubt he knows. Terry Francona, of course, managed the Phillies for 4 years, won 285 games, finished 5th twice and 3rd twice. He's gone on to win 984 games overall in his managerial career. Josh Reddick leads it off.
He has an interesting situation this weekend, Tommy, in that he's going to Houston, and Brad Mills is his best friend, really, as good a friend as Terry Francona has, and Brad is now the manager of the Astros, so that'll be kind of bittersweet.
That's going to be a tough play. Rollins dives. He can't get there. And Reddick with the first hit of the night for the Red Sox. A heck of an effort by Rollins. I didn't even think he'd get to the neighborhood, but it hung up there, and the wind kind of kept it up a little bit.
Well, he's playing him up the middle, too, as a left-handed hitter, and he had a long way to go for it. Couldn't quite get there. Worley jammed another hitter. There you see Jimmy doing all he can do, and not enough.
So Reddick's aboard. Here's Marco Scutaro with Lackey in the on-deck circle. Off the outside corner, 1-0.
First time Worley's had to work out of the stretch tonight. He's been very effective in the windup.
Even in his game against Oakland, although he didn't allow a hit till the 6th, he did walk a few batters, so he was working out of the stretch early on.
Scooter has done a lot of leading off in his career, and he's a patient hitter. And, you know, he's trying to get on base right now and have Lackey bunt him over, try to bunt them over.
There's a strike belt high, 2-1. That's playable for Schneider or Polanco. Bryan over toward the dugout, and he runs out of room. Boy, that ball kind of hooked back toward the dugout. Once it left the bat, I thought it would land somewhere around the on-deck circle.
Yeah, you know, catchers, a lot of times those balls will spin back a little bit. And that one just not enough for him to. And, you know, if he'd have gotten there a split second earlier, he may have caught that. It wasn't hit real high.
And there was nobody there helping him out on that side of the field.
Oh, you're on your own over there.
So 2-2 the count to Scutaro. And a foul ball, and it remains 2-2. Mentioned last night, Scutaro signed a free agent contract with the Red Sox prior to last year. You know, they were in search of a shortstop, and he was coming off a year in which he had 282 with 12 homers and 60 RBIs with the Blue Jays. Fly ball, shallow right center field. Utley backpedaling, calls everybody off, and makes the catch. That's a big out because now you have Lackey, who at one time during his college career was a hitter, but he's an American League pitcher.
Right.
He hasn't hit that often.
Has 2 sacrifices. Hasn't had that many chances to swing the bat. 35 official at bats with 3 hits for an .086 average, but he'll be up there to try and bunt. This is tough for these guys.
Well, the Red Sox were talking earlier this week that they hope Major League Baseball reconsiders what they're going to do with the American League teams during interleague play, that maybe when they go to the National League cities that both teams could use the DH. I don't know. I kind of like to, probably because we watch the National League so much, but I don't think you can do that. I think you got to keep it all 9 hit in the National League and the DH hits in the American League.
Well, they've been talking too, you know, to flip it. You know, like have the DH here, and then when you go to the American League, then have the National League rules. You know, that's another thing that kicked out there. I agree with you. You know, when we like the National League rules because you're used to it. And Philadelphia would hate the DH, I think, because it takes away a lot of the second guessing that's so much fun of baseball.
Guys like David Ortiz, as we said, haven't been able to hit it all, but you know, to me, I don't know, I think the game should be played the way they play it in the National League, even in the American League. And a call, strike 3. Lackey's down, looking for strikeouts for Worley.
And of course, we know that the DH isn't going anywhere because it costs jobs. Like, for example, David Ortiz. You know, would he be playing? Would Edgar Martinez have played all those years? You know, a lot of guys are DHs. And there, you know, you have the 9-hole right now with a pitcher having to hit there. Lackey, you know, he wanted to get the butt down, but he wasn't going to square. You know, they're not used to it. There's a fear factor involved in that.
Oh, with 2 outs, back to the top of the order for Jacoby Ellsbury. He grounded to second his first time up. Reddick over at first. And a strike at the knees. It's 0-1.
He's done really good strikes in this game. He's kept the ball out of the middle of the plate.
Tried to go back to the same area, but it was a little wide. 1 ball and 1 strike. Reddick a short lead off first. Ron Culpa took an extra second to think about that one. It looked like it came back over the outside part of the plate. It was not a cutter. It was more of a changeup from Worley.
I think Ellsbury thought it was high.
2-2 the count. And the pitch.
Great idea. Brian Schneider, veteran catcher back there. Hey, we worked him away the whole count. Let's try and sneak something by him in. And they just missed with it.
Well, Reddick will be off and running on this pitch. Howard plays behind him. There he goes. And a foul ball. Boy, he's got good velocity tonight, too.
And he's averaging right now 15 pitches an inning. Just a little over at 46. So, you know, you would expect his pitch count to go up in a game like this against the Boston Red Sox, who foul so many balls off.
Runner goes again. Grounder towards second. Utley takes the hop. And is an easy play at first. The side is retired. No runs. The first hit of the night for the Red Sox. One man left. We've played 2.5. Phillies and Worley have a 1-0 lead. Top of the order coming up. Brand. We don't just make SUVs, we make history. By McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by Thomas Jefferson University Hospitals. Call 1-800-JEFF now. Well, last night, Phillies went over 2 million fans here at this great ballpark. Not only were they the first team to reach 50 wins, the first team to reach 2 million. And tonight, sold out once again as Jimmy Rollins leads it off at the bottom of the third.
Yeah, real buzz here again tonight with the Red Sox in town. These games are so much fun.
Fans received the trucks from the folks at WB Mason when they came through the gates tonight. Series wraps up tomorrow. Citizens Bank Business Person Special. Rollins a ground ball to shortstop. Scudero throws him out. 1 away. Oh, Wheels, it's time for our Coors Light Freeze Can. If you don't get to the ballpark that early, you might not. You might be surprised with some of the things you see. Jimmy Rollins in flip-flops throwing BP to Brian Schneider. Guys getting ready for the national anthem. Charlie Manuel kind of soaking up the sights. Grounds crew, they do such a great job. The Fanatic, of course, getting the fans into it. Dan Baker reading the starting lineups for tonight's game, which include Ryan Howard. And yeah, we're just scouting things out a little bit. That's our Coors Light Freeze Can, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Both have our different style of binoculars that we use.
Oh, are there some parachuters coming in or something?
Well, I think that we were looking at the flags and looking at the wind blowing from left to right. Polanco lifts it foul down the right field line.
Fanatic did a great job tonight with when Dan introduces the starting lineups. He'll go over near the visiting dugout and try to imitate some of their players. Let's check out those binoculars. And he was really funny now. He had their dugout cracking up, especially when he did Big Poppy.
Toward the middle, Scudero to his left. And Lackey's got a couple of easy outs here in the third. No, Dan Baker's made his way from the booth up to from the field up to the booth, and he's got some sun in his eyes.
Phillies second baseman Chase Utley.
Consecutive sellouts. The Red Sox at Fenway Park 669. Phillies at 168 and counting. Red Sox sellout streak, that's ongoing. That hasn't stopped yet.
No.
They'll return home next week and it'll be number 670.
And it certainly will not stop this time of the year, in the middle of the summer.
No, there was some thought it was going to stop this past April.
It was cold and rainy and miserable in New England early in the season. And yeah, that's what they thought, well, maybe it could happen, but it didn't.
Utley fouls it away. It's no balls and 2 strikes.
Sounds like a Red Sox fan must have caught that ball down there the way they're getting booed.
I think somebody dropped it first up in the suite level. And there's the Red Sox fan.
Yeah, it hit the facing of the suite level, went down there, and he got it.
1-2 the count. Oh, honestly, that doesn't look like the kind of guy that would wear a Jacoby Ellsbury jersey. He looks like he would wear like a Carl Yastrzemski jersey or something like that, or Ted Williams. Not Jacoby Ellsbury.
Fred Lynn.
Yeah, or Dwight Evans.
Jim Rice. Boy, they had some tremendous players.
Utley grounds it to second. Pedroia goes to a knee. 3 straight groundouts from Lackey, and the Phillies go down in order here in the third. So Lackey settles in, at least for the moment, here in the third. We go to the fourth with the Phillies leading that guy's Red Sox 1-0. like Avery labels with exclusive True Block technology. Who but W.B. Mason? That's the truck we were talking about that fans received when they came through the gates tonight. Compliments of W.B. Mason. Phillies lead at 1-0 as we go to the top of the fourth. Vance Worley's allowed just a hit. That was a leadoff single to Josh Reddick in the third. And now Dustin Pedroia, Adrian Gonzalez, Kevin Youkilis. To begin the fourth, Gary Matthews joins us up here in the booth. Pedroia is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Hey, get some of those pitches underneath your chin. It makes that outside corner that much more wider for the pitcher. Hitters don't want to always go out and get that pitch.
There's a base hit to right field for Pedroia. So he's aboard to start the fourth. And that'll bring Adrian Gonzalez to the plate. Sarge Worley's looked very comfortable tonight against the Red Sox.
Yeah, I thought they missed a couple of pitches on him, but you know, he's been attacking the zone. He's both with the off-speed pitch along with his fastball. Consistently, the fastballs, he's had pretty good movement, working on the edges.
Little low, 1 ball and no strikes to Adrian Gonzalez. Well, just 2 hits so far for the Red Sox against Vance Worley. And Sarge, here's Adrian Gonzalez. We talked about it before that he's playing right field tonight instead of first base.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting to move where you're comfortable to somewhere where you're not so comfortable.
Well, I knew you got to give him a lot of credit to go on and move there just to let Ortiz play.
There's Howard. There's 1. Nice setup by Rollins. There's 2. 3-6-3.
Yeah, sorry about that, Tom. Right guy running. And Adrian Gonzalez, one of the things he doesn't do well is actually run. He does everything else. Very deliberate here as he gets a good toss there. You see J-Ro comes over a little bit late. Doesn't know exactly where the ball's going to go, but made a fine play on it.
All right, what if somebody asked you, what if Dallas Green said, Sarge, we want you to move from left field to first base? Just for a game or two.
You know what? Honestly, I just didn't like balls coming that hard in the infield. One of the reasons I went in the outfield. So, you know, I would hope at the time that I'm hitting well enough that I could demand to stay right where I'm at.
Those 2 guys are the best hitters on their team.
Well, you're right. I mean, but it shows you how really unselfish Adrian is to move out in the outfield. And then when he's out there, you want to see him test it a little bit to go left or right and have the ball maybe hit right at him. Let's see how he reacts.
So your thought is moving from the infield to the outfield is not as big of an adjustment. And I would agree with that, moving from the outfield to the infield.
I can't tell you how hard that ball comes when it's in the infield, especially on the off-speed pitches.
3-0 pitch to Youkilis. There's a strike, and it's 3-1. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the LA Angels of Anaheim lead the Nationals 1-0 at the bottom of the fourth. J.C. Romero signed a minor league contract with the Nationals today after the Phillies released him. So he'll get another chance to try to find the strike zone for another team.
Yeah, that was his only problem, being able to locate the fastball or any of his pitches.
And you had to figure that somebody would give him another chance because he's such a seasoned guy. 3-2 the count to Youkilis. That's coming straight back and just in front of us. Another foul ball, and it remains 3-2.
Good movement on the ball. Almost kind of predictable pitches. Doesn't want to walk him, but he wants to make sure that You know, he has a quality pitch. He's one of those guys that can hit the ball out of the ballpark.
David Ortiz on deck. Tenth pitch, foul ball off the foot of Euclid, and that one hurt.
Boy, I can't tell you how hard that ball hurts. It's a line drive going right off your foot. It's trainer coming out along with Terry Francona, manager. I mean, there's no protection from where he gets hit, and even if he did have it on, oh, that's right off the top of your foot. That's what really makes you want to jump up, almost near the ankle. You can see how he just starts to scream a little as he trying to absorb that pain.
He is a, I think this is an understatement, Sarge. He is a very animated fellow.
Oh, he's the type of guy, though, you would like him as a teammate.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the effort that he gives you on a daily basis. And I'm sure that when he first got there, his teammates would say, hey, what kind of batting stance is that? But when you hit, you begin to like that stance.
That's high, ball 4. Euclid draws a walk. It's the first walk of the night issued by Worley. So a 2-out walk, and there's a base runner for the Red Sox. Hey, reminder with the Phillies' upcoming schedule, which includes 3 against the Atlanta Braves. And then after the All-Star break, after they go on the road, they'll be back home against the San Diego Padres. Check out Phillies.com for any of the upcoming home games here at the ballpark. There might be some tickets available for spots that you would like to sit in. And a reminder, too, that there are always standing room only tickets that go on sale prior to the start of each game here at Citizens Bank Park. Again, Phillies.com has all the information that you need. Ortiz struck out looking his first time up. 1 ball, 1 strike to count.
Yeah, actually got him on 3 pitches. Ortiz looking at movement of the ball. These guys will do that from time to time. And Ortiz, too, one of those aggressive hitters. I like the way Worley's keeping that ball out of the middle of the plate. To be successful in the major leagues, that's what you have to do.
A line drive to right field. Dominic Brown didn't read it right away, but he recovered nicely to make the catch. And the side is retired. That's a little athletic ability right there by Dominic Brown. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left for the Red Sox. Middle of the 4th. Phillies 1, Sox nothing. WB Mason. Who but WB Mason for amazingly low office product prices? Buy the Quality Plus Ford stores. Buy Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. Ryan Howard leads it off here in the bottom of the fourth. John Lackey has allowed 4 hits so far through the first 3 innings.
Well, Lackey, too, he's doing a little more concentrating tonight. Need to get some of that 7 ERA to creep up there.
No balls and 2 strikes the count. You see Lackey's numbers against the National League during his career. Upstairs, 1-2. Howard grounded into a double play his first time up. Outside corner. Boy, they really expanded the strike zone on that one.
Yeah, give Worley that same pitch, and we'll be feeling pretty good about it.
Well, you never know who you're going to run into at the ballpark. As Sarge spent the day today, played a little golf with Hall of Famer Mike Schmidt. Now, Mike's got some props with him. Mike, what's going on with your forehead?
What do I have? What's up, man?
I got to tell you, it was a great day out at the Ace Club playing golf today. And I bit off a little more than I could actually chew.
It seems like Mike did a little bit better than you did.
And I actually left, of course, before he got off. But I made sure.
He left $20 with the guy in the bag room to give us.
Oh, boy.
I had to. That was fun.
I got to tell you, I thought I played really great, and we got off the course, and 8 under our first group, and I thought I needed really more strokes. But Mike did a great job on the handicapping, and we had a great time.
It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, the back 9 is a little harder than the front.
Well, that's what Sarge was saying. He said he goes, hey, I shot at, what'd you say, 42 on the front 9. And Wheels was very impressed with that. And then he said, well, how'd you do on the back 9? He goes, I'll be back in a little while, and I'll tell you about it.
Oh, gosh.
How did you do on the front 9?
I had a good day all the way around to about even par on the day. Was
pretty good
for me. But yeah, we were playing from the white tees today, so it made it a little bit easier. What kind of environment we got here? The buzz in the air.
I'll tell you what, it was great last night.
Oh, I watched.
And it's great tonight, and it's great tonight too. But it's just, some people wonder about interleague play, whether it's worth it. This kind of series is worth it.
I'm not a proponent of the interleague play.
I'm not either. I'm not either. But it is kind of neat.
Yeah. Although the same people would be here if this was the Cubs. I mean,
very true.
The ballpark would still have the buzz, would still be full, would still be sort of a Phillies baseball environment. I guess there's something to the Red Sox being in town. My daughter and son-in-law met at Fenway Park, and they live in Boston, so I do spend a lot of time in Boston. So this is my favorite American League team. There's no question about it.
Wow. Okay. I don't have one.
You don't have a favorite American League team?
No.
Didn't your son play for a couple?
What does that have to do with it? Love has nothing to do with it. Love has nothing to do with it. I mean, I've stood on the air before. Even if he was on my same team and couldn't hit, he'd have to hit the road jack. You got to carry your own weight.
Well, you watch the game a lot, Mike. I mean, you watch a lot of different teams. I mean, the American League, obviously the Yankees and the Red Sox seem to be the teams to beat. I mean, is that an easy assessment? I mean, is there anybody else that could give them a run, you think, in the American League?
Well, Tampa Bay's not that far off. Aren't they like a game and a half, two games behind?
They're not bad.
Something like that.
They lost to the Reds today.
That's the elite 3 teams in the American League. There's no question. And this is a big test for our team this weekend.
Well, Ibanez has passed to the test with his first couple of at-bats against Lackey, as he has a single, an RBI, now a double. And that is his 21st career hit against Lackey. And that'll bring Dominic Brown to the plate. And Dominic, last night, well, he's part of our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
That way, he didn't waste any time as he got a hold of a fastball off of Beckett, and boy, put some juice on it, getting out in the center field. That's our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
Mike, what do you think from a distance watching this kid?
Well, I've talked to Charlie for a long time in the clubhouse tonight. We were talking about Dominic, and we thought that well, I'll finish my thought real quick, that last night's game could actually jumpstart a career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You all of a sudden feel like you're important, and you've got big hits against a great pitcher and a great team and a big series, and it hadn't panned out tonight, but that could have been a big night for Dominic last night.
No, well, I agree with it, and I tell you what, I like the ball he hit to left field. It's better for me than the home run because it shows that he's staying right on the ball.
So the Phillies go down quietly here. Their half of the fourth. We go to the fifth with the Phils up 1-0. Well, has been nice enough to put the microphone on for us tonight.
What's up, Young? How you doing, baby? Come here. Hey. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Sammy is a chatty fellow over there in the third base coach's box.
Yeah, when players see you with that mic on, they avoid you like the plague. That was Autumn. You said, no. Talk to you a little later.
And we go to the fifth, and Jared Saltalamacchia leads it off for the Red Sox, and he gets it foul, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Mike Schmidt is joining us up here in the booth as we're recounting his day on the golf course with Sarge. Also talking a little interleague baseball. Saltalamacchia struck out his first time up, so he's 0 for 1.
The reason I am not a fan of it is I think it takes some of the charm away from the All-Star game and the World Series. But then again, I understand that we, Gary, you and I grew up in an age where, we didn't have interleague play, and it was we didn't know any other setup for the game, and this generation has grown up in an era with interleague play, so the current generation thinks it's sort of normal, and it helps to create the unbalanced schedule, the tough travel.
Right.
You have an issue with the DH, which comes into play in interleague play. Obviously tonight the Red Sox are a bit of a disadvantage because their pitcher has to hit. So I don't think it lends a consistent competition over the course of the year. That's my take.
Well, and the DH part of it, the Red Sox have said that they hope that eventually Major League Baseball allows the DH in the National League. I hope they don't. I hope they keep the rules the same if they're going to keep interleague play, National League and American League. Not have the DH hit in the National League.
Personally, I think DH, I'd like to see it all the way. You might as well have a DH. You might as well have them in both leagues. You might as well have more offense in the game. Why not have the DH in the National League? Gary, you probably feel different, but I used to feel different. But I agree that I think there should be a DH all the way across the board.
You know what? For the fans' sake, yeah, they really kind of like that. But I got to tell you, I'd like seeing Cliff Lee battle up there.
Well, yeah.
You know,
last night, Cliff Lee's a unique individual when it comes to playing the entire game.
Sure it is. I mean, even Steve Carlton and seeing him hit back there in the day. And I mean, I like that where a lot of times your pitcher is really out there doing a great job and you got to decide whether or not to keep him in or pinch hit in a situation in the 8th inning or maybe in the 7th inning for me.
Victorino gets under that one, and Scudero's retired. So there's a runner at first, but there are 2 outs here in the 5th.
Well, you're right. The baseball strategy part of the game is very important to a certain level of fan. You know, usually it's the older fan, a person, the father, the grandfather.
Yep.
You know, they're kind of interested in whether he took the pitcher out or not, and it does get some play on talk shows, and the guy makes a mistake, but we're appealing to the young fans, and the young fans want to see the long ball. They want to see more hitters. Guys like David Ortiz might not be playing right now if it wasn't for the DH.
0-1 the count to John Lackey, and it's no balls at 2 strikes. Well, this is the other side of the spectrum. I mean, Lackey, he doesn't have the same kind of presence as, say, Cliff Lee does.
But Josh Beckett swung the bat pretty good last night.
He sure did.
Just didn't drop the bat when he hit a ball.
But he
short.
also pitched in the National League for several years.
Lackey fouls it away. It remains no balls and 2 strikes.
And let's face it, most of the pitchers in both leagues, they always feel that they could go up and hit anyway until they get that little wrinkle. But, you know, we've seen some pitchers really battle, and I think it's good to see.
I just don't like the inconsistency over, Major League Baseball. I mean, the National League is the only league that doesn't have a DH, right?
Yeah.
All the minor leagues do.
Yeah.
Colleges do. I mean, the only league that doesn't have the DH is National League.
Well, you are right about that. I mean, that's because a lot of these guys, even National League and the minor leagues, if it's national against national, then the pitchers hit. But if it's national against American, they use the DH.
They do?
Yeah.
In certain levels. I think it's AA.
I thought it was AAA that they do that. Could be AA.
See, when I managed it in Clearwater, we had a DH every game.
Yeah.
So I guess it must be AA and AAA that the guys get to hit if it's a national league against national league.
For sure AAA, because I know the guys are there bunting and so on. So I know they're doing it there. 3-2
the count. The runner will be off. In the air to left center field. That ball's pretty well hit. Victorino on the run a long way, and he can't get there. It gets away. A run's going to score, and Lackey pulls into second with an RBI double.
Well, I tell you, it's just no justice in the game.
All you got to do is talk about it.
I'm telling you.
Ball's crushed.
When you see the way that he swung at one of the fastballs and swinging down, you're thinking to yourself, no chance. But it goes to show you, anytime a hitter goes to the plate or a batter, he can be dangerous. The ball served up right down the middle, gets his foot down, head down. He put a good stroke on it, and Victorino wasn't able to outrun this ball. A good thing it was hit to one of the deepest part of the field, or it'd be 2-1.
Well, it's his 4th hit in his career in 37 at-bats. Ellsbury skies one to right center. Victorino will get to this one. Puts it away. The side is retired. Lackey with an RBI double. Mike, it's always great seeing you, buddy.
I see you, Sarge.
Always a pleasure.
Take this 20.
Come on,
take this 20.
You keep that there. Okay?
The great Mike Schmidt, of course.
Good being with you guys. I love listening to you.
Thanks, Michael. Hey, the Philly Fanatics got some book signings coming up. That's right, at Norman's Hallmark store, Wednesday, July 6th at the Oxford Valley Mall from 7 until 8:30. The Fanatic will appear from 7 until 7:30, followed by a book signing with author Tom Burgoyne and illustrator Len Epstein. The book is now available at Citizens Bank Park, Phillies.com/publications, and local Hallmark stores. This is the 9th installment for the Philly Fanatic. Get them all, including this new one, the Philadelphia Story. It is a great read. Fanatic. Here's Brian Schneider in a 1-1 game. Well, I figured, Sarge, we've promoted your book. We've promoted Wheels' book, so we got to promote the Fanatics book.
Well, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I agree with it.
0-2 the count to Schneider.
Like he's not used to running the bases. See whether or not he gets winded a little bit. Although he doesn't throw the ball hard, so he relies more on control, off-speed pitches, keeping the hitter off balance.
And Schneider grounds one right to Scudero, who's on the right side of the diamond with that overshift. You know, the numbers show that the second time through the lineup, the opposition is hitting well over 300 against Lackey, 325. That's not turning out to be the case here tonight.
Yeah, he's been getting a lot of the corners here tonight for me. You know, the borderline pitches so far has been going his favor.
He's also gotten 8 ground outs. Worley sends one in the air to right center field. That's pretty deep. Ellsbury going back, and he makes the catch. Worley trying to return the favor. But they're 2 away.
Boy, put a charge in it.
Lackey, in 8 years with the Angels, won 102 games, lost 71, won an ERA title 1 season, and pitched in the postseason and was 3-4 for the Angels in the postseason. He signed his deal with the Red Sox. It was a 5-year deal worth $82.5 million.
Wow.
And he was coveted, but he's really not the same pitcher he was with the Angels. See where he ranks all time with the Angels.
Well, a lot has to do with that year that you have when you are a free agent, that teams will get you and anticipate maybe you're going to do the same or maybe do a little bit better, especially in the environment there in Boston and the players that they have.
Rollins tried to check. He went around, and Saltalamacchi throws him out easily. Jimmy shut it down about 10 feet from home plate. So a strikeout. The putout goes 2-3. A 1-2-3 fifth. We go to the 6th here in Philadelphia. Well, honestly, who else could it be? Tuesday night, this week, and the month of June have belonged to number 33. In one of the most impressive runs since Robin Roberts in 1950, Cliff has put a halt to scoring for opponents, throwing 3 consecutive shutouts. His scoreless inning streak is a career-high 32 innings, and he ran his record to a career-best 5-0 during the month of June. Lee's amazing stretch is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Now more than ever, we're here for you every step of the way. Well, it didn't matter where you turned today. Cliff Lee was the story around baseball. You can go to any of the national networks. You can go to Comcast Sportsnet. You can go to any internet site, and you can find stories about Cliff Lee and what he did in the month of June. 29 strikeouts, 5-0, a 0.21 earned run average. The second Philly in the live ball era to throw 3 consecutive shutouts. And live ball era is anything after 1920. And he has been an awful lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, well, he feels that it's almost a matter of fact when he goes out there that that's his plan, not to give up any runs, recognizing his defense.
Well, that's the triumvirate that so many people talked about at the beginning of the year.
I told you early on, I mean, once he starts bringing out that curveball, they haven't seen it. They don't know what to do. That's another pitch that they have to go out and look for.
Swing and a miss, 0-2 to Pedroia.
This guy swings hard all the time. One of my favorite players there. Batting practice, he'll invite you out, and he calls it the laser show. So he hits line drives after line drive. Former MVP.
Takes low, 1-2. Fly ball to right. Dominic Brown takes a step back. 1 out. Well, Worley so far has thrown 85 pitches. With 1 out here in the 6th. It's a little better than where he was the other day with Oakland. But he's going to be one of those guys that kind of grinds out innings and at bats because there will be foul balls against him. Yeah, so some of the at bats will be longer than others.
I think so. But again, so far, and until he becomes a little bit more, I guess the umpires get used to him. I really do feel he's pitching great. Been squeezed on some pitches where now you don't get those balls that are fouled off of him. A couple times could have been strike 3 on the batters.
1 ball, 1 strike the count to Gonzalez. I think that's an interesting point, Sarge, because sometimes we just watch a game and we can say, all right, that was a strike. He's getting squeezed. But you're right. Sometimes you have to build a reputation.
Well, rookie players, I mean, they always have to do that on both sides, from hitting to pitching.
Ron Culpa has had a wide at times strike zone tonight. Here's the 1-2 to Gonzalez.
You got to like the way that he's battling. I mean, only 1 run he's given up. A little more concentration. Lackey, I'm sure he wouldn't have given up that. This ball's a little low, I think. That pitch there, a little low, maybe just a bit outside.
Back toward the middle. Utley was playing deep. He's not going to get there. And Gonzalez has his first hit of the series. A 1-out single here in the 6th. So Kevin Youkilis will be the hitter. Well, walking around the ballpark today prior to the game, there were a number of tours that were going on. A lot of smiles on the faces of the Phillies fans and even the Red Sox fans who came to see this great ballpark. The tour includes visits to the dugout, the Diamond and Hall of Fame clubs, and much more. They're available year-round. For information or to schedule your tour, see ballpark tours at Phillies.com.
He's got that ball outside. I'm thinking that ball is close to the corner. That's the pitch However, for me, he hasn't been getting that all night. Now, with good hitters like that, they can zone in on you, make you bring it in, have pretty good swing.
There's Polanco diving play. They'll get one at second. That's all they'll get. That's a heck of a play just to stop the ball from getting into left field. He wanted two. I don't know even if he got it out of his glove cleanly if they would have turned two.
I don't know, though. Uke doesn't run as well. The ball hit pretty hard. I thought he just didn't get it out of that glove the way that he wanted. Boy, he has soft hands at third base. That's the reason why he catches those balls. Plays third base like a Gold Glover. Too sure he isn't. So you can see after the first at bat for a lot of the hitters for Boston, now they get a little bit more aggressive. Worley, however, continues to throw balls that are not over the middle of the plate. The only time he did throw it there, he paid for it.
Toward the alleyway, not deep. Ibanez is over, makes the catch. The side is retired. Pretty impressive pitching from Vance Worley. He's allowed just one run over 6. He's allowed 5 hits. He leaves one at first. Placido Polanco to lead it off when we return. The official HD triple play provider of the Phillies. By Citizens Bank, we're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. And by AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. Well, those guys are all part of a crowd of 45,612, 168 consecutive sellouts. Tied at 1 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Placido Polanco leads it off. Polanco's 1 for 2. Sarge Charlie Manuel had a special visitor in the clubhouse today before the ball game. He has been enamored with light heavyweight champion Bernard Hopkins, Philadelphia's own. And he's wanted Hopkins to come in to talk to his club, because he heard him talking about what it takes to be a champion and to stay a champion. And I'll tell you what, the players were wide-eyed when he was talking in the clubhouse today.
Well, he is the oldest champion at the age of 46. Had a fight, I believe, last month in Montreal against John Pascal. But, you know, it's not so much him winning the fights. It's the way he prepares himself that allows him, and then he goes out and just about beats everybody up.
Inside to Polanco, it's 2-1. Well, Charlie had a very interesting take. He said, you know, we're going to keep on winning until somebody decides that they're hungry and they decide it's time to knock us off. If we stay hungry, if we never lose the feeling of being a champion, we'll keep on winning divisional crowns.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind for sure that would definitely happen. And you'd have to stay motivated. You have to stay hungry. And one of the reasons Ruben Amaro Jr. likes to try and bring players in that have that type of energy to keep going on that same track. You know, you don't like bringing in guys that are a distraction. You want them to really mesh in with the group and make sure that you're adding to it.
Well, with one out, here's Chase Utley. He's part of that championship drive. This guy, I think, will want to win at Yahtzee when he's 50 years old.
Oh, boy. You know, when you look at this club and analyzing some of the players, I mean, these are some of the better players in the history of the Philadelphia Phillies. You know, for the youngsters to have a chance to see stars like Utley and Jimmy Rollins and the whole pitching staff, I mean, you won't realize how good this club is until years later.
1-1 the count to Utley. 2-1. Fastball outside.
That's why you have the opportunity to win. I mean, you got to do everything you possibly can. A lot of times injuries will keep you from having your goal. I think Lackey wanted that pitch. Now it looked to be down. Curveball.
There's ball 4. As Utley takes the breaking ball, and he'll take his spot over at first. Well, you're talking about continuing the success the Phillies have established since 2007 when they won their first of 4 straight division titles. It's obviously been done before when teams have won consecutive titles, been to the postseason consecutive years. In fact, there are teams that have surpassed what the Phillies have done, including the Braves, the Yankees. And how about the A's, who won 3 straight World Series championships in 72, 73, and 74.
Unbelievable. Well, those A's clubs that they had back then, I mean, they had guys that could hit up and down the lineup. And Catfish Hunter, #1 pitcher on the team.
Utley, what a great jump. I mean, he was off and running before Lackey even started to the plate. And that's his 4th stolen base. It's his 100th stolen base of his career. And he's in scoring position.
Now, he's a baseball player, no doubt about it. You see that 100th stolen base. Just sitting there. Great jump. Look at the route, though, he takes as he little pop-up slide right there. No chance.
Up and in, 2-1 to Howard.
Just needs to get a strike to hit. Lackey's the type of pitcher, he doesn't mind pitching when he's down in the zone. He thinks he still has an advantage. 2-1, 3-1 because of some of the off-speed pitches that he's been throwing, but he's been getting in trouble this year. Not a good pitch. Now, that's what I was saying about swinging at strikes. That the pitcher doesn't want to pitch to you. You got to recognize that and go on and take your walk. Big difference, 2-2 to where it would have been 3-1.
Phillies have just one hit since the second, when Ibanez gave them a lead with an RBI single. Second time Lackey's gotten Howard tonight.
Well, pretty good pitch. That was a split. Actually tumbling down there on the outside part of the plate. Howard was set up on that. A lot of pitches inside. Take a look at it. Maybe it was a slider, maybe backdoor slider. No, it was on the outside part of the plate. Something off speed. I think Ron almost wanted to call that, kind of little getting ready to call a strike. Thought it was too low.
Same pitch, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to Victorino. Doubled and scored the only run for the Phillies back in the second.
Good job taking those pitches. Lackey just saying if he was going to chase a high fastball. See whether or not Charlie lets him swing. He does let his players swing at 3-0 from time to time.
Ibanez has seen Lackey very well tonight and during his career. You wonder if that'll change Charlie's mind.
Could be, though. There's a respect there for Victorino. 3-0 breaking ball, but that might be the pitch he feels he can get over.
He certainly has settled in tonight. Phillies have had a couple base runners, but they haven't really done much with it. Grounder right side. Pedroia charges and leads Ortiz to the bag, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits. One man left in scoring position. We have played 6. On to the 7th. Red Sox 1, Phillies 1. we go to the top of the 7th. It's a 1-1 game. You see the Phillies scored in the 2nd. The Red Sox an odd run in the 5th. And here's Jared Saltalamacchia to lead it off against Worley with bullpen action behind Vance.
Michael Jack rubbing in a little bit there to Sarge.
I think he may have been.
Wow.
Sarge was probably so proud of himself after the front 9 that he was able to compete with somebody like Mike Schmidt, who really can hit the golf ball. Not that Sarge can't.
No, but Michael's a real player.
There's a strike. It's 2-1. Now you got to watch how you say Mike's a real player, because then Sarge is going to think that he's not a real player.
He knows he plays. Michael's a real player. It's like I play and you play, but Mike Schmidt's a real golfer.
Yeah. At the knees, 2-2 to Saltalamacchia.
You said the bullpen up because he's at 100 pitches now, and he's done a really good job. I thought he might get to 100 about the 6th inning tonight. So, you know, for him to pitch into the 7th like this, really a good job. You figure they were going to foul a lot of balls off, and they have.
Here comes the 2-2 to Saltalamacchia. Fouls it away. Well, they'd like to stretch Worley out. And they said, and I say they, Charlie Manuel and Rich Doobie said that if they could stretch him out, they would try to tonight, because they wanted to get him up over 100 pitches. Sometimes the game doesn't allow that.
Right.
But this game has allowed it. There's Josh Reddick, who's 2 for 2 against Worley. He has 2 of the 5 hits. Outside, ball 4. So a leadoff walk.
Verizon Wireless game summary, it's about as even as it gets. Look at those totals right there. And Josh Reddick, as Tom said, 2 for 2. He's coming up now. The run scored. John Lackey ran the count to 3-2 and then knocked in the only run. And it's probably about as good a game as he's pitched all year. And Raul Ibanez knocked in the Phil's run in the 2nd inning. The Phillies had a run in, nobody out, and basically shut down since then. And Worley's done a nice job to this point.
Well, Reddick swings at the first pitch and fouls it away. There's a lot of oohing and ahhing going on here at the ballpark tonight.
The guy off to our left, Tommy, he has a couple shots at that one and then dropped it. Watch. Oh, I can't quite hang on.
I'm just happy he stayed in that first row.
Yeah, I was watching that too.
Reddick bunts,
Whoa.
foul.
How about that? I mean, that looked like they put a sacrifice on there at the bottom of the order, which means they're thinking about hitting for Lackey, but there's nobody up. Unless he saw something that Terry Francona didn't put on. Because that was not a bunt for a base hit move that he just had.
Over to shortstop. It's a spinner. Rollins to second for 1. Utley, quick release. I don't think they would have gotten him anyway, but who knows. Ryan just couldn't hold on to the ball. Would have liked to have seen, if he did hold on, if Jim Wolf would have called him out. But there's one away.
Yeah, never know now. Ball just clanked out of his glove. Utley makes a nice throw here. Ryan's trying to stretch out, and he was going to be safe, it looked like, even if he caught it. But as you say, who knows? Oh, well, that was going to be close.
Yeah.
That was going to be a tough call for Jim Wolf. You see how an umpire calls that play. He's looking down at the bag and listening for the sound. That's why you always laugh when somebody say the tie goes to the runner. All that, you know, they go on sound. And when the guy hits the bag.
Scudero takes a strike. It's 0-1. See what Scudero's done tonight.
They still don't have anybody up. So Lackey's staying in this game.
Well, there he is. Scudero turns on that one and fouls it down the left field line.
Yeah, he made a little bit of a mistake there with a high fastball.
These lucky fans are tonight's Citizens 7. They will receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. Line drive toward right. Dominic Brown there makes the catch. 2 outs. And it's now 6 2/3 for Worley, which is a career high in the majors.
Here's Lackey. The count was 0-2 at one time. Then he got back to 3-2. Just threw a strike. Just wanted to not walk him. And Lackey crushes this baby right out there by the State Farm. Reddick scores right there. And that's the only run of the game for Boston on a double by the pitcher after he was down in the count 0-2.
It looked like he had him struck out. At least Worley thought he did.
Yeah, both with a pitch over the plate, and I don't know that he swung at it. What you guys think?
I think he swung at it. I thought it was a strike.
Yeah, that's what it looked like on the replay you had. Get one more out. He's done a heck of a job. Boy, hold this team to 1 run and the pitcher knock it in, and that'll be it for him. Well, Lackey swings hard, just like Worley. Both these guys are up there trying to help their teams.
Well, Lackey, when he was originally a member of the University of Texas at Arlington college baseball team, he was a first baseman. So he hit.
Yeah, you can see that he wants to swing.
1-2 the count. And that's a little low. 2-2.
He threw him a breaking ball there, a little respect, and he doesn't swing at it.
Well, every time the Phillies retire the opposing team 1-2-3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Xfinity HD Triple Play, your complete lineup for digital TV, lightning fast internet, and home phone. There's a chopper slowly hit toward third. Polanco has it, throws out Lackey. The side is retired. Worley threw a career high 7 innings. He'll get a nice response as he exits the diamond. Phillies and the Red Sox even at 1. It's time to stretch here at the ballpark. All right, Wheels, let's refresh your memory once again.
Yeah.
What Phillies pitcher won the first game of Terry Francona's managerial career?
I hope for an educated guess. His first year was 2007.
Well, 1997.
Excuse me, 1997. Close enough. You know what I meant. And since the Red Sox are here, and since the one pitcher he really had that year he could count on played for both teams, how about Schilling? Kurt Schilling.
You are correct. Who did he beat?
I have no idea who they play.
The Dodgers.
Dodgers. That game was in Los Angeles.
May have been.
I think that's a game where guy beat the ball off his foot and he played one game for the Phillies. Remember who I mean? I'll think of it. Anyway, who did he beat that day? Who would have been the Dodgers? Danny Tartable was the guy that
he did not pitch, but that's who I
beat
thought
the ball off his
about.
foot, and that was it. Dodgers in '97. Wow. Give me a hint.
He pitched for the Phillies.
Ken Howell.
Pedro Martinez.
Pedro Martinez. Is that right? In relief? Yeah, because Pedro was a reliever for the Dodgers back then.
I guess.
Well, he was. He wasn't a starter for the Dodgers. His brother was.
Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're a winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans.
Let's go look at that box score now. His brother was Ramon Martinez, who was a very good starting pitcher for Los Angeles.
Boy, Raul Ibanez just sees John Lackey very well. I mean, he scorched that foul ball.
Yeah, these are the best swings he's had in a while. I got to look up and see if that was the year Danny Tartable was with the Phillies. He had a very short career with the club.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Because they opened in Los Angeles, and that's where he beat a ball off his foot.
In the air to right field. He golfed that one. It is gone! Ibanez is 3 for 3. It's his first home run since the 30th of May. And the Phillies now lead it 2-1.
The wind is blowing like crazy out to right and right center. You thought sooner or later one of these guys is going to get it up in that breeze. And he hit that well. It looked like a breaking ball. As you said, Tom, he golfed it appropriately after talking about Mike Schmidt and Gary Matthews' golf game today. There's a low curveball. Boy, left-handed hitters love the ball down and in like that and out of the ballpark 2-1.
And Ricky Herb of Barnegat, New Jersey, you've just won $100 courtesy of Raul and the McDonald's home run jackpot. Here's Dominic Brown, who takes a strike. It's 0-1. 3 for 3 for Ibanez tonight. 2 RBIs. He's now 22 for 57 against John Lackey. One and one the count to Dominic Brown.
Well, he's had good swings at him all night. That's good. He kept that ball or hit that ball foul.
Yeah.
See what Martinez is talking about to him there. You know, that pitch was down and left-handed hitters. That's like sticking it on a tee for them. They love it. They can literally golf the ball in that zone.
And Brown a little late on that one. It was a high pitch, and there's one away. Well, speaking of golf, catch up on all the action from the opening day of the AT&T National. Plus, get exclusive interviews with special guests, expert analysis, and more. Don't miss AT&T Daily News Live on location at Aronimink, presented by Villanova University College of Engineering. It's tomorrow at 5 on Comcast Sportsnet.
There'll be some real golf swings there, playing one of the great courses in this area, and that's really saying something about Philadelphia. There's so many great courses, but Aronimink's a wonderful place.
Little humpback liner by Brian Schneider. 2 away. Crowd just settling in after Ibanez hit the home run to give Vance Worley a 2-1 lead. Michael Stutz is warming up in the pen for the Phillies. Phillies will set a pinch hitter up for Worley.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go Stutz in the 8th and Bastardo in the 9th. It's just the way you drew it up in spring training, right? What a job by Vance Worley. I mean, the fans are booing right now. But, you know, this guy, this is as far as he's gone with his pitch count. It's time to go get him.
I think they're saying Chooch.
Oh, it's Chooch. Good. Yeah. Good. Because it's that time. You know, it really is. And I know, you know, we'd all love to see him pitch longer because he's been so good. But
there might be some that are booing, but it's probably Chooch.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Chooch. But hey, you can boo. You know, it's prerogative. But that was some job. I don't think any of us will believe that Worley be able to hold this lineup to 1 run tonight. You thought he'd do a good job and all, but not just 1 run, and knocked in by the pitcher, no less.
So here's Ruiz, who you figure will stay in the ball game. The one home run for Carlos as a pinch hitter is a grand slam this year. Down the right field line and out of play. Adrian Gonzalez has been moving around out there and right. He had his glide back to the wall on that home run ball pretty good.
He really hasn't been tested out there tonight. I'm sure he's happy about that.
Be interesting to see what they do tomorrow with Cole scheduled to pitch for the Phillies.
Yeah, you figure Big Papi won't play tomorrow against the left-hander.
Ruiz hits it high in the air to right center field. Playable for Ellsbury, who makes the catch in the side. Is retired. But the Phillies do retake the lead. Raul Ibanez gave them a 1-0 lead in the second. And this home run makes it 2-1 here in the seventh. We go to the eighth with the Phillies on top. Budweiser, great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Buy Chevrolet. See your local Chevy dealer. Visit ChevyDealer.com. And buy Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. Raul Ibanez has given the Phillies a 2-1 lead. And Carlos Ruiz, who pinch hit for Vance Worley, remains in the game to do the catching. And the new pitcher is right-hander Michael Stutz in his 27th game. And, well, here's how Charlie Manuel has it for the next few ball games. Stutz in the 8th, Bastardo in the 9th with a lead.
Said just the way you drew it up. That's why this is such a fascinating game.
Ellsbury shows bunt, takes upstairs. Ellsbury and Stutz both from Oregon State. As you see Lackey heading down the stairs, and his night is probably done.
Yeah, they let him in to hit, and then he came out through the home run ball.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ellsbury 0 for 3. He was selected by the Red Sox after the 2005 college season. He lifts that to shallow right, playable for Brown. And 1 out. Follow your favorite Phillies player and donate to a great cause at the same time. Phillies Charities Incorporated introduces a easy new fundraising program open to fans in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. Select the player and stat that you'd like to follow. Pick your pledge increment. Choose where the money will go from 4 Phillies Charities beneficiaries. Supporting Phillies Charities has never been easier. See the community section at Phillies.com for details. I am not sure what Jenks is doing with that hook out there. If he's planning on going fishing later on or what. I don't know what that is.
Back to that game in '97 we were talking about. That was Danny Tartabull who broke his foot that day, and it was probably Ramon Martinez who lost the game as a starter because Pedro was gone by then.
Oh, was he?
I think so.
1 ball, 1 strike to count to Pedroia. Well, we weren't giving out any prizes for who was the losing pitcher.
Yeah, he was 0 for 2 with 2 walks with Tartabull, and then he was replaced later in that game in right field. And I don't know that he ever played for the Phillies again after that.
That's a good question. I know he wore number 4, but no, I don't think he played.
No, I don't know numbers.
That's why I threw it out there.
Yeah.
Outside of low, 3-1.
But Ramon Martinez did start.
So it was
that
Ramon
game.
Martinez that lost, not Pedro.
All right, he started because Pedro would have had to been in relief because he was a reliever and he's with the Dodgers.
And they're probably still kicking themselves about that. Among other things.
Yeah.
Towering pop-up. I mean, that one is way up there. Look out below.
Man,
2 outs.
That's a big man's pop-up.
Sure is.
Not from a guy like Pedroia. You wouldn't expect that. It shows you how strong he is. Hit a ball that high. Now watch this uppercut swing of his. He hits that way up in the air. This has got some hang time. And the wind's blowing it. The wind's blowing it, and he stumbled a little bit. You know how what do you do those punts when you do a football game?
Yeah.
That was 6.8 seconds.
That would have been a good punt.
Good hang time, huh?
Adrian Gonzalez checks on that first pitch. It's 1-0. Wheels Carl Greber has some more information for you on, I believe, Danny Tartabull.
Yeah, that game, by the way, was on April 1st of '97. It was opening day in Los Angeles.
Ramon Martinez, according to Carl. That's a foul ball. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Wow. That ball was hit far.
Yeah, crushed that.
Well, Ramon Martinez, 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 walks in that game.
Yeah. Terry Francona thought, I got me at ball club here. And '97 was not a good year.
Wow, what a comeback pitch that was.
I think it was a little bit of a hanging slider.
Well, he was thinking fastball.
Ooh. You don't want to throw that one again.
Over to second base. He went toward the outer part of the plate, and Gonzalez pulled it toward Chase, and the side is retired. So Stutz does his job. A 1-2-3, top of the 8th. The Phillies still lead it by 1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Jay Siegel as they preview the AT&T National at Aronimink. Plus, don't miss an exclusive interview with Tiger Woods, with a beard, by the way. Tee time at the AT&T National tonight at 10:30, right here on Comcast Sportsnet.
How many guys in this area know Aronimink better than Jay Siegel? He played that, he's a member there, I believe. Played that course a lot of times, one of the great amateur players in golf history, and a great guy. Boy, could he play. He went to Wake Forest and never turned pro.
Well, here's Lackey to pitch the bottom of the 8th. I guess you think about his pitch count. He's only thrown 87 pitches. He didn't last long his last outing. And Rollins loops one into right in front of the very deep Adrian Gonzalez. And I don't mean he's a poet. I just mean he was playing really deep.
And they have the bullpen up, Tom, as the inning begins. A right-hander and a left-hander. And that was a curveball there, and Jimmy did a good job of just serving it into right field, kind of like the way Ibanez hit his home run.
Franklin Morales is the left-hander, and Alfredo Aceves is the right-hander. Gary Tuck is the bullpen coach. Saw Gary Tuck when he was with the Florida Marlins as a coach.
They'd bunt here. That's what the Red Sox are thinking too.
I think it's a smart move.
Yeah, well, if you do it, then you know you're going to get Morales probably for the left-handed hitter. So it's just a matter of whether you want to go with Polanco here and swing the bat, or know you're going to get the left-handed pitcher to the left-handed hitters.
Well, no, that's a good point. You know, you have to decide that. I mean, you have Utley, who handles the bat well against anybody.
And they think you're going to bunt, so you're going to have people moving around right now.
And Polanco chops it toward the middle. Scudero backed up on it. Now he takes it to the second base bag, and the second time tonight.
And that's what happens, of course. You know, he hits into a lot of double plays because he hits the ball on the ground. So you're taking a chance there that Polanco will make something happen as opposed to going left, and it didn't work.
So now you have Lackey against Utley with 2 outs. It's the second double play ball that Lackey's rolled in this game. Both have been 6-3 double plays.
Lackey's 1 out here from potentially pitching a complete game and losing. Phillies have had that happen to them a few times this year.
Roy Halladay.
In Florida.
Utley, towering fly ball deep to right field. Did he get enough? Adrian Gonzalez is at the wall and hit the top of the scoreboard. Utley's around second. Boy, look at him run. He's going to be at third, sliding, taking nothing at all for granted. Utley with a 2-out triple.
Yeah, the wind really got that one and looked like it was going to be a home run. And see Lackey thinking, how the heck did that ball go that far? Well, the wind really got it. And as Tom said, Utley busting it all around, hit right on the top of the padding out there, on top of the wall, and went straight up in the air. Here's Gonzalez. He leaps, and watch where it hits. Right, at the base of the fence.
That's why it shot so well.
Yeah, and that's why it came back. Here, this will be a really good look at it. Boink. Backed up nicely by Ellsbury. And Terry Francona is going to come out now and bring Morales in for Howard.
And Utley is safe at third, safe and secure with New York life. Great reaction by the fans, by the way, with that camera shot. There were some fans telling others to just stay away from the ball, stay away. So Lackey is done with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Terry Francona is going to bring in the left-hander Franklin Morales to face Ryan Howard. There's Morales, who pitched in last night's ball game. This is an AT&T call to the bullpen with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th with the runner over at third. Lackey to the showers with 2 outs here in the 8th with a triple. And instead of facing Lackey, Ryan Howard's going to face the left-hander Franklin Morales. Second straight game that Morales has appeared in. A 4.50 earned run average. He's a guy the Red Sox acquired from the Colorado Rockies for cash considerations. Pitched in last night's ball game. You see 4 innings, 5 strikeouts. Ryan Howard, who is 0 for 3 tonight, has a chance with a runner in scoring position for the 3rd time tonight to try to give the Phils an extra insurance run. Well, here's Juan Samuel, who we said we had Mike tonight, talking to Chase Utley about where that ball landed.
It hit on top of the scoreboard. In between the brick and the scoreboard, it hit that up there.
For sure?
Yeah.
Take a check, yeah?
Yeah.
I thought that's what Chase was asking him, if he had a chance to check and see if that ball went over the small fence. But we can see from this angle that it did not go over the small fence. I say the small fence on top of the scoreboard, right there.
Yeah, right on the top.
So here's Ryan Howard, 0 for 3. Infield back all the way around with 2 outs. Playing him to pull, and he takes outside and low. It's 1 ball and no strikes. See what Ryan's done against lefties recently. Still does not have a home run against a left-handed pitching, which is very odd at this point, the midway point of the year. Oh boy.
Well, they'd like to get 1 more here, especially bringing an inexperienced guy like Bastardo in the 9th inning.
In the air to left center field. On the run is Reddick. Into the alleyway. Out there is Ellsbury, and he makes the catch just in front of the 387 sign. The wind kind of knocked that one down, and the side is retired. No runs, 2 hits, 1 man left over at third. That guy right there will lead it off when we return against Bastardo. For Antonio Bastardo to pitch the 9th for the Phillies. We get ready for a little different defense for the Phils. Let's listen in to Juan Samuel talking to Shane Victorino.
Oh, no double?
Just play straight up.
Euclid, then they're not going to bunt Ortiz anyway. I should right out of the gate, no double. You know what I mean? I'll do it.
So Samuel talking to Shane Victorino right into the shoot. No doubles defense. It doesn't matter who it is that's up, but you see Juan talking over to Charlie Manuel. They're going over where Juan thinks the defense should be. And Charlie, I'm sure, will agree.
Right. That's that. They give that sign from the dugout where they put the hand over the head, meaning, okay, don't let them hit the ball over your head. No extra base defense, no doubles defense, and we'll give them something in front of them.
So we go to the top of the ninth. Here's Kevin Youkilis. Youkilis, Ortiz, and Saltalamacchia coming up after this ball game. We'll have a complete recap of this game on Comcast Sportsnet. Plus Phillies post-game live. Talk about Arana Mink and Wheels. Jay Siegel did turn pro, didn't he?
Yeah, he played in the Champions Tour. What I meant was he never turned pro, when he went out on the regular tour, but he turned pro for the Champions Tour and won out there.
Yep. Here's Antonio Bastardo trying to save his third game of the year. He is the closer tonight with Ryan Matson on the disabled list at least until Monday.
Boy, this is something, having Stutz and Bastardo at the end of the game against the Boston Red Sox. Wow.
Charlie Manuel said he'll defer to Antonio Bastardo more often than not, but he said he reserves the right to use Michael Stutz when he needs to as the closer. 1-1 the count to Youkilis. Up and in, 2 balls and 1 strike.
And Youkilis will make you throw strikes. He'd like to hit a home run and tie the game, but that's not his game. His game right now is to get on base, and if he gets a pitch he can hammer, he will. But if you don't pitch to him, he'll walk.
Well, he may have went fishing a little bit there. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Tonight we're talking about Worley's pitch count. They had 26 foul balls off him tonight to run the count up.
And he pitched well.
He was tremendous tonight.
2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. Popped him up. Shallow right center. Utley points. Here comes Dominic Brown. Utley's there as well, and Utley makes the assertive call at the end to put it away. 1 out.
That was really neat what we showed there at the beginning of the inning with Juan Samuel going over the outfielders about the no doubles, don't hit it over your head. That means they're really deep. And that's one of the cases where the infielders know, you know what, I may not get called off. Now here's a swing by Youkilis, who's ticked off at himself for popping the ball up. But they had to come a long way to those outfielders. Now Brown was there, but Utley just decided to take it.
So 1 away. Here's David Ortiz. No doubt that no doubles defense will be set up for Ortiz. Swing and a miss and a slider. It's 0-1.
Now he will be swinging to tie the game.
Yes, he will. And Bastardo and Ruiz knew that. And they didn't throw him a fastball on the first pitch.
Saltalamacchia on deck as a switch hitter. 2 homers right-handed, 3 left-handed.
Fly ball. Shallow left field. Plenty of time for Rollins to get under it. 2 away here in the 9th inning. 2 king-size outs for Antonio Bastardo here in the top of the 9th. And he needs 1 more. Jason Varitek is coming running in from the Red Sox bullpen in full gear. That's in case they need him for, I guess, a pinch hitting appearance. So here's Saltalamacchia.
Yeah, it would be probably too. If Saltalamacchia get on, they probably run for it.
Yep. See what he's done lately against lefties. He swings at the first pitch and he pops it up. Everybody's on their feet. 45,612 as the Phillies try to take the first 2 from the Red Sox.
What a neat atmosphere.
25-year-old left-hander Antonio Bastardo. His first opportunity as the full-time closer for the Phils. And it's low, 1 ball and 1 strike. In the air off the third base bag. It's another pop-up. Polanco on the warning track. Reaches over. Makes the catch. And Antonio Bastardo comes in and slams the door shut on the Red Sox. And the Phillies take the first 2 games tonight by a final score of 2-1. And the young arms really stepped up to center stage. Vance Worley, Michael Stutz, and Antonio Bastardo. And that's exactly how they drew it up. Raul Ibanez, our Chevrolet player of the game. 3 for 3, a home run, and the 2 RBIs the Phil's pitching staff needed. How about Stutz and Bastardo? 6 up, 6 down in the 8th and 9th innings tonight.
How about the Phillies have won a series from the Boston Red Sox, too, and look at that.
At the midway point, the Phillies are 51-30. 21 games over 500. That's pretty impressive stuff, folks.
Oh, what a great atmosphere tonight. Tremendous game. And as you said, Tom, unbelievable job by those 3 young pitchers.
Well, it's been a lot of fun to watch these last couple of days, and tonight was no different. Here's our W.B. Mason delivery of the game.
Raul Ibanez had great swings at John Lackey all night, tried to throw a breaking ball there, a curveball, and he got it down and into him. He dropped the head on it, home run, and that was a deciding run in the game. Big night for Raul Ibanez and the Phillies young pitchers. And Raul Ibanez is down there with Sarge. Sarge, take it away.